Okay, get ready. You may call Zach now. 609-919-9200. The Zach Gelb Show. Only on Fox Sports 920, The Jersey.
Welcome back, everybody. Zach Gelb Show. Time in the Princeton Orthopedic Associates studios is 4:37. Phillies red hot. Get another big victory today. Come from behind. Galvis with the big two-run shot in the 8th inning. Phillies win 4-3. That game went final just around 4 o'clock. And now joining us on the hotline, this guy used to always join me when I was in college on my show at Temple University. And now joining me on the Zach Gelb Show on Fox Sports 920 The Jersey is a World Series champion, and that is the former manager of the Philadelphia Phillies in Charlie Manuel. Charlie, how are you?
Zach, how you doing, man?
Doing great. I appreciate you giving us a few minutes today, and I'll tell you, you must be real happy with the way the Phillies are playing, and I really think that everything with the Phillies really got changed when Franco got plunked in San Francisco. Ever since then, the Phillies have been red hot, Charlie.
Yeah, you know what? They've been playing good. They kind of hit a rough spell there for a while, but in San Francisco they definitely got underway, and their bats livened up, man. It was summertime. It's time to start hitting, Zach.
Yeah, no doubt about that. You see, Franco is red hot. 4 straight games with a home run. He gets another one today. Had a home run last night. How important is that going into the All-Star break after 4 games against the Rockies when you have an up-and-down season from Franco that is confidence right at the halfway point?
I think it's great. I think it's a good sign. It's definitely an upper. I think when you see Freddie Galvis come back today and he hit the ball real good, Borges has been really hot. Of course, Herrera has been on fire, and their hitting is definitely picking up. And that the team has showed a lot of improvement over, since the first of the year, really, and especially with their lumber.
And you take a look at Borges. His hitting streak came to an end today, but 14 straight games with the hit that ended today up against the Braves. But what has really changed with him? Because he's looked like a totally different player, Charlie.
Yeah, it looked to me like he kind of slowed down as far as like his stride and stuff, and he started seeing the ball better, and that way he was getting better pitches to hit, and he had good bounce at the plate, and he had a quick bat. I mean, he's still and hopefully he'll continue to hit, because that just goes to show you what he can do when he gets going, and that could be a big plus for the Phillies.
Let's get to the pitching, because last night you had a tremendous performance by Zach Efland. Gets his first big league win, 92 pitches, only took 2 hours and 8 minutes, went the distance, and got 4 double play balls. How about Efland last night?
He was outstanding. I watched the game, and he had good command of his pitches. He mixed his pitches well, and he did a tremendous job. He was cool. He looked like he was in charge the whole game. Tremendous location.
And after his first start up against the Blue Jays, which he allowed a grand slam and got taken out of the game pretty quickly, Donaldson got the best out of him. When you're a manager, how do you keep a confidence of a young guy like that up, especially like an Eflin who got destroyed in his first big league outing, but then ever since he's been able to bounce back and pick up his first big league win?
Yeah, you just stay positive for him. Make sure that you give him another chance, and therefore they'll know that you kind of care about them, and you expect things out of them, but at the same time you trust them, and they'll get to know you, and they'll go out there and perform the best they can. And sometimes baseball, Zach, you don't go good all the time, and a pitcher does have a bad outing, or basically he gets hit. And that's all part of the game. And you just bounce back. You practice hard and on the side and, in between your starts, and you just come back the next time with upbeat and you're positive and I'm going to get them.
We'll stick with the positive with the pitching as we're talking to Charlie Manuel before we get to the negative. Eichhoff has been one of those players that have turned it around, and Velasquez, he's also looked pretty darn good, Charlie, since coming off the DL.
Yeah, Velasquez got a big arm. That was some kind of good move, the trade for, when we sent Giles to Houston, and Velasquez, and the guys that we got. If you take a look at them, they have a lot of potential to be big starters in the major leagues for a long time.
And let's get to Enola. Enola has had some concise starts. They're going to skip him tomorrow, and then he'll come back after the All-Star break. What's going on with Aaron Enola right now?
He just got in like a little funk here lately. Like in about his last 5 or 6 games, like he hadn't commanded the strike zone like he had been, and his breaking ball is a little flat. And I think like you just go through periods like that. It's hard to explain, but at the same time, I think what we saw the first of the year showed how good it can be, and like it's just a matter of him going back out there and having actually a couple good outings. Like I think he's going to be fine.
And it's going to be an all-hands-on-deck approach to get him back in the right direction. He's going to pitch a simulated start from now until the All-Star break. I'm sure you've been in that situation when you've been trying to get pitchers right. How much can a simulated start really help a pitcher who's been struggling at such a young age?
I think it definitely can help him, but at the same time, too, I think the rest is going to help him even more. And I think the All-Star break is coming at the right time for him. I think that he needs some rest, and it'll give him time to kind of get his head cleared and like work on his command and his pitches. And the second half of the season, he's more likely going to come out and he's going to show us, that the first half at the start of the season wasn't a fluke. That he is that pitcher that we think he is.
And with the All-Star Game, you were the manager in 2009 and 2010 for the NL. The Phillies, the 2 years before that, got to the World Series, so you managed the All-Star Game for the National League, respectively. What was that experience like, managing the All-Star Game?
The All-Star Game is really, like the first one I had, Zach, was kind of real different for me because everything's kind of hectic, and there's a lot of people around in the clubhouse and also on the field. Like kids, the media, fans and parents, things like that, and and it's really, it's kind of unorganized, but at the same time, you're there to have fun, but also to play a game and win it because now it means a home field advantage in the World Series, and I was a little different, but then the second one, I got a better grip on it, and I kind of knew what we was up for, so that kind of worked out pretty good for us. Rich Doobie, my pitching coach, and our coaches, we learned to be a little bit more organized and knew what we were doing.
I'll tell you, I love baseball, but Charlie, this All-Star voting is a joke. I don't get how Daniel Murphy isn't a starter. They give it to Ben Zobrist over Murphy, and Murphy's hitting .349 with 14 homers and 56 ribbies. Addison Russell, the shortstop for the Cubs, he's batting .242, and he's starting over Corey Seager. I just don't get it, Charlie. The All-Star Game voting, it's just a joke. And even Salvador Perez, he's a nice player, won the MVP last year in the World Series, but his .274 average, how does he get the most votes in the All-Star Game? It's a joke.
I think a lot of that, it comes from the players and the fans, of course. But at the same time, when you look at the years like Murphy's having, it's pretty hard not for him to get no All-Star Game. But when I went to those 2 All-Star games, I did get to pick some players, and actually even then, the ones that had already was on the team. And then the ones you pick, it seems like you always come up with a problem, where you have to leave somebody off, and it is kind of different, and but that's kind of the format of things, Zach, I guess.
At least they were kind enough to make Murphy a reserve on the NL. But let me ask you this: when I'm sure you've been in that situation where a guy deserves to make the All-Star team and doesn't. As a manager, what do you say to him when one of your guys doesn't make it and you thought he should have?
You just walk up to him and tell him, look, you should have been on the team, and I'm really sorry about that. If I wish I could have did something for you, or I wish I could have did more for you or something. And that's about all you can say.
And it was nice.
You know what, Zach? Most of the time, the players, they understand, although that they kind of wish that they were on there and feel like that they should have been.
And it's also nice to see that Herrera make the All-Star team because he's been one heck of a player for the Phillies this year, Charlie.
He's going to be. He's going to get better. I made a little dinner bet with Larry Bow in spring training. I said that he would hit 15 to 20 home runs this year, and he's got 10. And and also when I see Bo, I want to remind him of it.
What was it? A dinner bet you said?
It was in spring training. When we were talking about him, and both of us like him, but at the same time, like I said, I told him he's going to hit 10 or 15, I told Larry he's going to hit at least 10 or 15 home runs this year, and he's going to hit 300. So
Well, he's still got a little bit to go in the average, but, the home runs are looking like it's going to be there as we're talking to Charlie Manuel. So, Ryan Howard, I got to get to this with you. You know Ryan very well. You were there when he was great and he was winning a World Series for the Phillies and getting to 2 World Series for the Philadelphia Phillies. And now he's been on the bench and he's been accepting that role. He hasn't really been talking to the media. But when it comes to Howard, and you know him better than anybody, do you believe that he'll ask for his release at the some point during this season and maybe try to catch on with another team? Because that's the only way I think that he won't be on the Phillies by the end of the year.
I think Ryan definitely understands by him sitting, what he's doing too, by not getting to play, and he's sitting there and being totally professional about it, which he is. And believe me or not, Zach, believe me, he definitely is pulling for the Phillies to win games and everything. And he feels he wants to be part of the team, but at the same time, I think that Ryan feels that if he's going to ever get to play and get his at bats at the major league level, that it might be time for him to move, to go somewhere else or try another team.
And I'll say this, Pete McCann during this whole process dealing with the superstars has really done an unbelievable job. And McCann's been in a tough spot this year because he doesn't have a whole lot of talent, but he's getting the best, I think, out of this team right now, Charlie.
His team is definitely right now. His team is really playing good, and they love to play. You can tell the way they go about it, and things are working out good for them.
Now, before we let Charlie Manuel run, who joins us right now, I got to get you a quick question on the Mets. Jose Reyes, he comes back after had the whole domestic violence incident, sat out. I had the 52-game suspension. Last night gets a standing ovation, goes 0 for 4, but today gets 2 doubles for the Mets in a victory as New York takes the series up against the Marlins. Do you believe a player like Jose Reyes with a domestic violence incident that he had deserves a second chance?
I think, Zach, I think that I do think that he deserves a second chance, but at the same time, too, I think that there's a time and place for things, and I think that he has to show that he's worthy of this chance that he's getting now, and and he's got to play hard and actually do good, and show people that he's very deserving of getting to play again.
Well, Charlie, I appreciate the time today. Thanks so much. It's always fun to talk to you. Enjoy the next 4 games for the Phillies up against the Rockies, and then you have a nice little All-Star break.
I thank you, Zach. Yes.